All right, Khan, Shalom, Shalom, Israel, Shalom to the Torah, Yasharala, giving the course, all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bashima, Mashah, Wambalaki, Abashah. It's all praises, honor, glorification unto the Most High God, Yahweh, in the name of some begun, Sini Abashah. This is Brother Yasharala.
Servant of Yahweh.
Khan, come back, y'all. Yet another video for the Spring Pod, Yahweh, Bashima, Mashah, Wambalaki, Abashah. All right, to a mighty Shabbat to all the Torah tribes of Israel that's celebrating it Friday to Saturday sundown. All praise to the Most High God. Shalom, shalom to all Israel. All right, through the Spirit, man. And of course to the brother to the right of me, Brother AHBAYAH, aka Servant Yahweh. Very knowledgeable brother in this truth. And we've been laboring for 2 years now, doing these videos dedicatedly. It's like dedicating ourselves every Friday night to do this video, man, or do the videos for the Lord and for Israel. All right, so all praise to the Most High God, man. Right, so I like to get straight into it. Right, I like to get straight into it. So we've been going through a series of First Peter. We've been breaking down First Peter chapter 1, First Peter chapter 2. If you haven't checked those out, you can check that out for yourself. But in this video, we'll be going into First Peter, the 3rd chapter. All right, First Peter, the 3rd chapter. All right, and we're going to start at verse 1, of course.
This is the book of First Peter, chapter 3 and verse 1. Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives.
Right. So first, looking at that precept, you may not understand what that's essentially talking about. Okay, because the King's English might mess you up a little bit. The way that they talk back then may mess you up a little bit. All right. So we got to just read it slowly and actually just take it in. Because you might just read over that and be like, I don't know what the hell that's going into. So I'm just kidding. Nah, man, don't just throw up your hands like that. Look at it, examine it. So it says, likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands. So that's first and foremost. We got to stop right there, right? Be in subjection to your own husbands. So what does that mean? That means that you have to obey him, all right? Literally. I'm going to look up real quick the word subjection means, all right? Right? I'm going to look that word up real quick. Subjection, all right? Because you might know what that word means, but let's just look at the actual official definition, all right? Subjection. It says the act of subjecting a country or person to one's control, or the fact of being subjected. So subjugation, domination, oppression, control, mastery, repression. All right, really just means, it doesn't mean slavery. It doesn't mean that you got to be a slave to your husband. Not what's that going into. It's just talking about that the husband is the head of the woman. All right, as the scripture said. All right, so let's get that precept real quick. 1 Corinthians 11:3. All right. You trying to read that, Bubba Shah?
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 11 and verse 3.
Right.
But I will have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
Right.
And the head of the woman is the man.
Is the what?
Is the man.
Now the woman is the 50-50.
And the head of the woman is the man.
Now the woman runs the household out.
And the head of the woman is the man.
The head of the woman is the man. That's literally in the Bible. You got it.
And that's really playing upon tables. Ever since that woman suffrage movement of Susie B. Anthony and all these dumb devils, man, about equal rights and equal equality and stuff like that, that's where you get that so-called, what's it called, man? That feminist spirit, or not the feminist spirit, that masculine spirit on women. They want to be equal. They want to. You said what?
No, it's like I was just saying the feminist movement.
The feminist movement, man. They want to be equal. They all of a sudden they want to wear the pants in the house, man. They want to go and join the military and things of that nature. That was not for the women back then. Even when you look at Rosa Parks, they knew about being modest. Like the man is over. No, I say Moses Parks. Not Rosa Parks. I'm Harriet Tubman. I'm talking about Harriet Tubman though. It's a lot in my mind, man. Yeah. Even when you look at Harriet Tubman, man, like back then they knew about modest apparel. They knew about being in subjection to their husband, because that's the natural order. But the white man like to change things in these days, man. I want to get the classic real quick. In Genesis chapter 3, and verse 16, and it reads, "Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children." You see that? So when the woman was going off, when she talked with the serpent, it's not an actual snake. But she wasn't referencing her head. No, she wouldn't do her own thing. Guess what? When y'all give birth, when y'all have those monthly cramps and stuff like that, it's because Eve went off doing her own thing. I'm gonna keep going though, and it reads, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. And that's in the Bible. That's in the Old Testament and the New Testament of the man ruling over the woman. So ain't no 50-50 relationship, 80-20, and stuff like that. No, it's an order, man. You think we have a say over the over Yahweh? No, we don't. The same way a wife should reverence the husband is the same way the husband is reverencing Yahweh. It's even told in Ephesians chapter 5, that, if I'm not mistaken, chapter 5, that the female, they have to reverence their husband as like the Lord. Let me see if I can find that precept real quick. If you have a precept, you can get it.
Khan. In fact, I was just in Ephesians 5 as well. But yeah, Khan. I believe what you talking about is Ephesians 5 and 22, if I'm not mistaken, on down. But I want to get Ephesians 5 and 33. But you want to get yours first?
You can get yours first. I'm gonna look for this precept real
All right,
quick.
Khan. All right, Khan. This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 33. It says, nevertheless, let every one of you in particular so love his wife even as himself, and the wife see that she reverence her husband. So yeah, it's a thing to it's a all right, because marriage is it goes two ways. All right, you can't just be one sided in that, and so the woman totally is in love with the husband, but the husband does not love his woman at all. His husband doesn't deal with his woman, on that level. If you have ears to hear, the husband is just not dealing, with her. It's just not, messing with her, shooing her away and stuff like that. The Lord never said. The Lord said that the husband must love his wife even as himself. So just like how a man would clothe himself, would make sure he's doing right, make sure when he's hungry he's fed. When it would make sure that when he's thirsty, he's gonna replenish himself, right? Just in that manner, he loves himself. He's gonna make sure he's right with the Most High, right? Things like that. He's gonna love his wife in that same way. He's gonna love him like himself. It says, "And the wife see that she reverenced her husband." So on the flip side of that, it can't just be the man going to the woman and the woman not going to the man. It's the wife. The wife has to reverence her husband, as the scripture says. And that word reverence literally means honor, right? Fear. Right? I'm gonna pull that word up real quick. It literally says fear, if I'm not mistaken. All right, let's go to Ephesians 5 and verse 33. All right, this is the book of Ephesians 5 and verse 33. But I'm gonna pull up the Hebrew, it's like the Greek for it. All right, see that she reverence her husband, right? Reverence.
Strong's G 5399.
Damn.
Fabeo.
So it says to put the flight by terrifying, to scare away. It says to frighten, to be alarmed, by analogy, to be awe of, revere, be sore afraid, fear exceedingly, reverence, to reverence, venerate, meaning what? When you look up this word venerate, it means regard with great respect, revere. All right. So literally, I mean, this is what the Bible says. Now, it doesn't mean. Does that mean that every time the husband comes into the room, now the wife is just pulling out her hair because she's so scared of this man and she doesn't know what to do, and now she has nightmares about her own husband. No, that's not what the Lord is saying. What the Lord is saying, just like how the Lord said in the book, every man should fear his own father and mother, right? His father, right? This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 3. It says, "Ye shall fear every man his mother and his father, and keep my Sabbaths, honor the Lord your God." So does that mean every time my mom and my dad comes to the room, I'm just sweating and I'm just in fear and I'm like frozen in fear and I'm calling upon the name of the Lord because I'm just so scared of my parents? No, that just means it's going into the same thing, reverence them, right? Because just like how you have the fear of the Lord, right? You reverence the Lord, you worship him. You know what I'm saying? You reverence him, you submit to him. And so that's why the brother's about to pull it too. Even in that same chapter, the Lord says that you have to that the women are commanded to be in subjection to their own husbands as unto the Lord. So just like they have to look at their husbands like that's Yahweh, you know, and what they say goes, you know. So it says, kind of lucky. I want you to go back to that and then pass it. But it says, to be fear. So just reverence, man. Reverence. Honor, respect. Respect is when your husband tells you to, do the dishes. He just got back home from work and it hasn't been done. And he says, "Hey, can you go do the dish?" And respect is doing it. Respect is just, respectfully, I'm gonna do what you say. But that's what the Lord requires of our women. But Con, you got it, Ken.
Exactly. But commonly go to Ephesians 5 and verse 22. It reads, that's why verse 21. Submitting yourselves one to another in the fear of God, meaning you have showing respect to each other, man, honoring one another. Now, yeah, the woman is under the man, but it doesn't mean that the man beating beating on his chest and being that lion and that gorilla in the household. Go do this. Go do that. You tell her to do this. She's the octopus. She got clean with one arm with two hands. She got two hands in the or two arms in the back of her back on her back, and she's cooking. She got two more arms coming out on her side. She's doing something else. Like it's a cartoon, man. That's not what it's taught. You can't be like that, man. You can't be a lion in your house, right?
Right.
Ephesians 5 and verse 22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord, man. So the same way you would treat the Lord is the same way you would treat your husband, man. The same way how Mary Bethany wiped her hair and anointed Yahweh and stuff like that. Hey, that's how the female should be to the husband. Give him back massages, probably. Being what's it called? Charitable, more of a hospitable toward your husband. You shouldn't be calling him a nigga. You call him a nigga, you call the Lord a nigga. You shouldn't be calling out his name. You shouldn't be treating him nasty and stuff like that. Someone told me, hey, a good wife, even when they're in an argument, and stuff like that, she'll still bring him a hot dinner to him. You know what I'm saying? No matter what. Some people, hey, some females, they like to do certain things. They might throw a piece at him, get stuck on his face, it just slides down and stuff like that. Now you got acne all over the place. Hey, that's off, man. Ephesians chapter 5 verse 23, and it reads, "For the husband is the head of the wife," and that's plain upon tables. Only a rebellious woman would disagree with that, man. It says, "For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church, and he is the savior of the body." So the man, he's subject unto Christ. Christ is subject unto the Most High God. So the woman is subject unto the man. The children is subject unto who? The woman, man, and so on and so forth. It's a hierarchy in this thing. Lord said, "Let everything be done decently in order." Let's get that real quick. The classic, 1 Corinthians chapter 14. Because look at America now. It's falling because you got world leaders, you got some who's men, you got some who's females. The females, they're kind of controlling you now, the whole world. They saying everybody's equal. Now look at America, it's falling. It's falling, man, because of this. This 1 Corinthians chapter 15. It's like 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 40, and it reads, "Let all things be done decently and in order." And that's plain upon tables. So come.
Con, all praises. So yeah, that's playing upon table, man. And that's the whole topic within itself. But it's clear and within the scriptures that the Bible teaches that the woman should be in subjection to the man. All right. Because hey, just like how the beloved brother Riot even always puts out, man. It was men that set up. Literally, men were set up to be the leaders of the nation. I mean, you just can't get around. You can get mad. You can say, brother AHBAYAH, brother Yasharala, they going off, and da da da. What about Deborah? But hey, just look at it. Proverbs 8:4 literally says, "Unto you, O men, do I call, and my voice is to the sons of men." That's what the scripture says, right? That's what the script, and even in the book of Ezekiel, it says, "The flock of my pasture are men." You know what I'm saying? So you have a lot of these priests. Hey, all the apostles, men, 12 apostles, men, 144,000 men. I mean, so why can't a woman be that? That would seem sexist. A lot of people would say that the Lord is sexist, bro. The Lord is not sexist. What are you talking about, bro? If you call the Lord sexist, I don't know, bro. Right? But that's what I heard. People literally say that the Bible is sexist. The Bible is, crazy, and that women is not equal to men. So if you want to debate that, what I'm saying, you want to debate that to your own destruction, literally. You know what I'm saying? Because women, hey, the world teaches that you should fight with your man, fight with him, try to be equal to him in all ways. You know what I'm saying? Do what he does. You can do what he does. But the Bible teaches just follow him. Let him let him do the hard work. Literally. I mean, the Bible literally said that the men have to do the hard work, and we have to take we like the shield, literally. We're like the little shield, to the elements. That's what the Bible teaches. And women want to be the damn shield with the shield. Nah, the Lord says that the man has to be protected over the household. They have to provide. If they don't, they wicked, they off, they worse than an infidel. This and the third. So I don't know. I don't understand why women want to be over the man or want to take that position. You don't know what you're taking for real. Literally, you don't know what lot you actually want. The Lord said, "Are you able to drink of the cup that you are able, that you damn are asking for, man? Right? That I drink of." It's kind of like that in that sense, man. Because being a man in this truth, man, understanding our responsibilities, I don't think a lot of women will actually take it for real. If you really knew what it was boiling down to, for real, how we have to be the head, we have to know the knowledge, we have to know the precepts. If we don't, the Lord's going to kill us, man. That we have to be on fire. The Lord requires us to do that and to lead and to know literally what's going on and to rightly divide the word of truth. All you got to do literally is follow your husband. You don't even want to do that, man. Would it make me damn shake the hand all night, bro? Literally, So, but hey, man, but yeah, Con, we can get back into that, But Con, let's just reread that from the top.
First Peter chapter 3 and verse 1. Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wise.
Yeah, so what that means is, so Peter is saying through the Spirit that the wives should be subject to their own husbands, that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wise. So let's say Peter's basically putting this scenario out there. And it's like, can you hold from me real quick? 1 Corinthians, the 7th chapter, and verse number 10, right? Actually, let's just get to the point. Actually, yeah, let's start verse 10 and we'll skip down, right? So just hold that, Baba Kasha. And then so basically what Peter's saying is, so let's take a woman that's in this truth, but her husband sadly is not in the truth, right? Her husband sadly is not in the truth. Now, does that give her the go to now leave? Now she can just depart from her husband. They've been married for 7 years. It don't even have to be 7 years, right? But the Lord said, you lay down, hey, guess what? That's, you guys are married now. That's scripture. But Peter's basically putting that scenario out there. Let's say you have a woman in the truth and her husband is not in the world. I mean, it's like he's not in the truth. He's in the world. The Lord says that you still have to be in subjection to them. So by your holy conversation, it says by what? It says that they also, without the word, it says, if any obey not the word, meaning the husband is not obeying the word. He's not keeping the commandment. Let's say he still eats pork. He still eats shrimp, crab, lobster. He still breaks the Sabbath. You know what I'm saying? He's not obeying the word. It says what? They also may without the word, meaning the wife is not sitting the husband down and breaking down the scriptures to him. She doesn't have to do it like that. Because for a man, that's our lot. It's our lot to teach. You know what I'm saying? It's our lot to bring out the word and to rightly divide it, right? To debate. That's our lot. That's not the lot of the women. How women pull people into the truth is by their conversation. And when you go into that word conversation, it means conduct, how they conduct themselves. He might see, because like, let's just pull it, because Paul kind of expounds on it a little bit more. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 7 and verse 10.
1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
And unto the married I command, yet not I, but the Lord. Let not the wife depart from her husband.
No, the wife can depart from her husband.
Let not the wife depart from her husband.
Go ahead.
But, and if she depart, let her remain unmarried or be reconciled to her husband, and let not the husband put away his wife.
Right.
But to the rest speak I, not the Lord. If any brother hath a wife that believeth not, and she be pleased to dwell with him, let him not put her away.
All right. So if you have a woman in the truth, let's say you're married to a woman, but she's not in the truth and you're in the truth, if she still is pleased to dwell with you, what I'm saying? She still loves you. Even though you're in the truth, she still loves you, still wants to be with you. Don't put her away, man. Right? You can't just put her away, just forsake her. I'm moving to Atlanta. You guys live in Cali. I'm moving to Atlanta because them brothers taught me, and I'm goodbye. Brother, what are you doing, brother? You know what I'm saying? What precept is that? You know what I'm saying? I'm a new man. You're pulling 1 Corinthians 7, it's like pulling 1 Corinthians 7, 5, verse 17. I'm a new man. Right? Like, brother, you still have to be with her. Right? But let's keep going.
Verse 13. And the woman which hath a husband that believeth not, and if he be pleased to dwell with her, let her not leave him.
Yeah, so on the flip side, if a woman have a husband that believeth not, and if he like he be pleased, yeah, okay, if he be pleased to dwell with her, let her not leave him. You see that? So if that husband that's in the world, but she's still, he's still pleased to dwell with her, his woman, she came into the truth, it won't necessarily mean that he's going to leave her, right? He might just be with her. He still loves her, right? So what that precept is going to 1 Corinthians 3rd chapter says that also made us like they also made without the word be won by the conversation of the wives, meaning they could be won over into this truth. They can come into this truth just by looking at the holy conversation of his woman. He sees how she conducts herself. She's studying. She's reading now. She never read in the world. She's smart, right? She actually cares. She's obedient onto. She's not talking back to her husband. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, what is this? And so after a while, he might actually come into this. How you going to tell? Oh, my husband's never coming in. I don't know. I don't care. He's not going to come. Hey, do you have the keys to David? Last time I checked, that's Yahweh. You know what I'm saying? Last time I checked, it was the Lord that made that decision whether or not someone's going to come to the truth. So they can actually be won by the conversation of the wise. So that's what Peter is saying, right? That's why even if your husband is in the world or not, you still got to listen to him, man. That's still your head. Now, if your husband says, hey, go eat I don't know, man. Go eat a pork sandwich, bro. You haven't ate one of the pork sandwiches in a while. You haven't touched your pork in a while. Go eat that. Does that mean, okay, well, I have to obey my husband every word? You pray, beseech the Lord. But yeah, Khan, so let's keep going in that.
1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 14.
Right.
For the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife, and the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband. Else were your children unclean, but now are they holy.
Khan, yeah, so that's plain. You know what I'm saying? Literally, the unbelieving husband in this case will be sanctified by your holy actions, and vice versa. But like you got did you have anything on that?
I got to appreciate real quick because Peter saying your conversation. Now that conversation not really going to your speaking, but that can also be it. But your conversations, your actions, what you're doing. It's like the brother said. All of a sudden, you change. You're not doing the same things anymore. You don't go out to the clubs on Friday nights, Saturday nights. You're not wearing some revealing clothing. Now you got a dress on. You have the head wrap. Even for the brother in the truth, you come into this truth your wife don't really believe. Now you're not what do brothers be doing? You're not beating your wife no more. You actually being respectful in this thing, man. You actually taking care of your kids. You're taking care of your household. You're a provider now. It was like, oh wait, why he's paying the bills on time? Dang, he's
Right.
changing. He's taking care of his kids. He's not a deadbeat no more. Oh,
See that?
what's
Yep.
going on? What's
Mm-hmm.
going on? Because hey, you a changed man. And when they be like, when they actually see that you're reading, you actually want to do better, they're gonna be like, something's up. There's something I got to get to the. Especially Eve. Eve had to dig and dig and dig. There's something up with him. What's going on with him?
Oh
They like
boy.
to dig and dig. They might dig themselves into the truth, man. Right? This is the book
Yeah.
of Matthew, chapter 5, and verse 16. And it reads, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. You see that? So how do you let your light shine? By your actions. Now you're wearing your fringes. For your sister, you got the head wrap on, modest apparel. Talking about, calm my Lord, and stuff like that. And he in the world, he said, what you call me? Well, he gonna feel special. Like, dang, she cooking for me? And she can actually cook now? Right, hey, man. Hey, through your own actions, you can bring somebody in the truth just by your action. There's someone always watching you, man, and that's deep in itself. You don't have to break down scriptures to somebody for them to come into this truth sometimes, man, or to really get them. What's the word I'm looking for? Get them
Spark their flame.
spark their flame, man. Right? You just keeping the commandments. You might have fringes on or something like that. They might be like, why you wearing that all of a sudden? Now you spark their interest, But come on.
Yeah, exactly, man. You just because remember, it's not the lot of the women to teach, man. You know what I'm saying? That's First Corinthians, like in First Timothy, the second chapter, and verses 9 on down. You know what I'm saying? But I suffer not a woman to teach, but it be in silence. For Adam was not formed, or was first formed, then Eve. So that's what the Lord said. He doesn't suffer a woman to teach. So how is women supposed to bring people in the truth? By their holy conversation. You see that? Just like the brother said, But Khan.
Shalaki King.
Khan, you got it.
First
Yeah.
Corinthians. First Peter chapter 3 and verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
And it reads, while they behold your chaste conversation coupled with fear.
Right, exactly. So there's just going in a little bit more deeper into that. While they behold your chaste conversation. And what does it mean to be chaste? Let's look that word up real quick, man. You have to look these words up. Okay. It really, these verses for the women, bro. Literally, But it says what? Abstaining from extra material or material, Salakia, extra material, or from all sexual intercourse, right? Being a virgin, basically, right? Maiden. Not having any sexual nature or intention without unnecessary ornamentation, simple or restrained, right? So basically, chase a virgin in this thing, right? And we know that it's also spiritual as well, right? In the spiritual version as well, right? But I'm gonna get that in the Greek real quick. See what the Greek say. It says, right? Exciting, reverence, venerable, sacred, pure. All right, pure from carnality, chaste, modest. It says modest, bro. Pure from every fault, immaculate. So that's what our Lord commands our women to be in this truth. Chaste, having a chaste conversation, a pure, lifestyle and conduct. And the Lord said, be holy, even as I also am holy, man. In Leviticus the 20th chapter, in the 27th verse on them. That's what the Lord said. Be holy. For I also am holy, man. Be pure. Right? The Lord said in the book of Hebrews, the 10th chapter, verse 22, that He sprinkled us with that pure water. So the Lord wants us to be pure, and pure from carnality, because a lot of our women are carnal, bro, in the world. A lot of our men are carnal, and that's what us in this truth. We have to abstain from carnal carnal things, carnality, right? They also have to be modest as well. Modest. All right. You don't want the candy that's all exposed out in the world with a whole bunch of ants on it. You don't want that piece of candy. You want that piece of candy that's wrapped up. You know what I'm saying? Modest. But Con, you got it, Ken.
To touch on that analogy too, a candy that's wrapped up is preserved. You know what I'm saying? But a candy that's not wrapped up, it keeps getting eaten away. It's slowly deteriorating. If I'm saying that word correctly, it keeps getting smaller, till you just got to stick. Right? I mean, that's what happens, man, when it's not preserved. That's all I want to touch on, but
See that? Just got to stick. Con, that's right. Yeah, we can go on.
1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 3. I'm going to read, whose adorning let it not be that outward adorning of plaiting the hair and of wearing of gold or of putting on of apparel.
Right. So does that mean that women can't wear any they can't have braids or they can't wear any gold? Like it's a sin now. It's you're going off. The Lord's going to kill you, sister, because you have some some fake gold on, right? It's not even real. Right? No, I'm just playing. But nah, that's not what it's going to. In the next verse, he explains it, right? Because I'm gonna pull this scripture real quick. Isaiah 3. But Slacky, just read the next verse real quick, Slacky.
1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 4. But let it be the hidden man of the heart, that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit, which is of God of great price.
That's the ornament that they have to be putting on. That's what they have to be focused on. Basically, what the Lord is saying is focus on your spirit and not the outward so much. Because the Lord already knew that our women's going to be like that, bro. Our women's always focusing on the outward all the time, bro. Gotta look good, gotta look good for the camera, gotta look good for the Instagram, gotta look good for the damn going to the store, going da. Now it's good to keep yourself up. We're not saying let yourself go. Now she got the braids in. She been having the braids. She doesn't wash her hair. You know what I'm saying? Her hair's all messed up and jacked up, and she stinks. She don't buy new clothes. She got the same clothes for 5 years. She never changes it. No, that's what we're saying. You should always keep yourself up, but don't be focused on the outward more than the damn inward. Sister, you're not meek at all. You proud, right? Yeah, you look good on the outside, but you're proud inside, man. You're not meek. You're not putting on and off that old man. You're not putting on the new man. You're not putting on the new woman. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. So let's go to Isaiah 3 and verse 16. It says, moreover, the Lord said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty, meaning proud, and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and mimicking as they go and make a twinkling with their feet. Basically moving in a proud spirit, right? Therefore, the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and the Lord will discover their secret parts. In that day, the Lord will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet and their calves and their round tires like the moon, the chains and the bracelets and the mufflers, the bonnets and the ornaments of the legs and the headbands and the tablets and the earrings, the rings and the nose jewels. So these are all things that our women adorn themselves back in the ancient world. And the Lord is detailing all of them, right? All of the ornaments that, our women used to wear, especially the women of the southern tribes. But basically, that's what our women were wearing. And remember, the thing is, it's not a sin to wear these things, but it's the spirit that they were walking in with these ornaments that was off. The Lord said that the daughters of Zion are haughty. They're proud, first and foremost. The Lord's not getting on them because they're wearing earrings or because they're wearing gold. They're royalty. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to wear gold. Hey, Joseph had a chain of gold about his neck, as well as Mordecai. You know what I'm saying? Or Mordecai, right? He had a gold chain about his neck that was given to him by the king, and he wore the king's ring, man. So like, was it king's ring or was it the ring of Haman, right? But he wore a gold ring, man. Now is that off? No, it's not off. But it's the spirit that they had with these ornaments. Their inner spirit wasn't right. They were haughty, they were proud, walking forth with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes. They were lustful. You understand? And these things, what you wear also, puts a certain spirit on you. Like for example, if I was walking around with tight jeans on, ripped madness, ripped tight jeans on, my pants is hanging off my ass. I'm showing, my drawers. But I have a Gucci belt on and I got some Air Forces, black Air Forces, which put a spirit on you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm wearing a tank top, no fringes. You know what I'm saying? And I got a hat on. What type of spirit am I going to be walking in? Literally. You know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff put a spirit on. Now, if you always dress in this Louis Vuitton, this damn Feeny, you always dress in a Gucci, you always dress in a gold, all this, you got all this stuff on you, smelling good. You know what I'm saying? You're always walking around like you're gonna walk proud, man. It's gonna get to your head, especially to our women. You know what I'm saying? So that's why the Lord is saying, don't be focused on us on this all this stuff, and your spirit is not even right. You should get your spirit right. That's what the Lord is saying in 1 Peter 3. Because you got it, Ken.
Like the brother says, nothing wrong with wearing, bracelets, earrings, nose jewel, and stuff like that. This is Judith, chapter 10, and verse 4, and it reads, "And she took sandals upon her feet, and put about her her bracelets, and her chains, and her rings, and her earrings, and all her ornaments, and decked herself bravely to allure the eyes of all men that should see her." Now, when you read about Judith, you will see right the reason behind that, which was in righteousness. It wasn't to be a whore or a thought. It was for an exact reason to give salvation to Israel, man. But to keep you on a photo of this level, you don't want to be wearing certain things to be seen, to make yourself feel good. But the brother said there's nothing wrong with what's it called, giving yourself, pleasing yourself, defrauding not thyself with a good day, looking good, keeping yourself up. But don't think that's what justifies you. I want to get this precept real quick. In 1 Samuel chapter 16 and verse 10. 1 Samuel 16 and verse 7. And it reads, "But the Lord said unto Samuel, Look not on his countenance or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him." So don't look on how tall this man is. Don't look on his stature. Don't look on his countenance. If he's if he's masculine, if he got a good build, and stuff like that. Don't look on that, man. It reads, "For the Lord seeth not as man seeth." So carnal man, he seeth the outward. That's what a carnal man, man. But the Lord don't see as man see. It reads, "For a man looketh on the outward appearance." So when people get scouted for the NBA, in middle school, man, elementaries, middle school, even high school, they picking teams for dodgeball, for basketball. They getting the tallest guy first, man. They might get the tallest guy, the fastest kid, the man who look kind of strong. They're picking him first. Then they got that one dude, kind of short, glasses on. He keep pushing his glasses up. Got tape on his glasses, man, because it's broken. They overlook that dude, man, because they look on the outward appearance, right? The reason, but the Lord looketh on the heart. By the end of the day, the Lord looks on the heart. David, he had, if I'm not mistaken, he had 7 brothers, man. And he was the youngest. And the Lord chose the youngest in this thing, man. So, that's playing upon tables. But I'm going to get one more precept to add to our first one. There's really more precepts, but for sake of time, Psalm, real quick. This book of Psalms, chapter 51. So, I'm going to read verse 6, and it reads, "Behold, thou desirest truth in the inward parts." You see that? So the Lord looks in the inward part. He look at your spirit. If your spirit's upright, it tells you the Lord, he tried the hearts, man. He tried the reins. The Lord don't give a thing about your flesh. Hey, Saul, he was a tall man. His shoulders was taller than everybody. But the Lord refused him. No, David's brothers, he was there was more built than David, more in shape, more muscular, probably more taller than David, but the Lord refused him. The Lord chose David. We read again, it reads,
Right.
"Oh, thou desirest truth in the inward parts, and in the hidden part thou shalt make me to know wisdom." See, the Lord, he loved to deal with things that's kind of in secret, that's not really out in the open for everybody to see. He loves the people that's meek, humble. Like it says in First Peter, man, chapter 3, meek and quiet. But come.
Yeah, Con, that's right. That we want to be of a meek and quiet spirit, man. Because even let's take this in the world, man. This how this talking about our people for. Because let's look at Eve, all right. Seem like we getting on Eve every video, bro. But it's like look at Eve, and whenever Eve, especially in the world, so whenever Eve gets her hair done and her nails done and eyelashes like bat wings, you know what I'm saying, and she has makeup on and she is dressed in, she has a Louis Vuitton bag that costs $200, and she got the iPhone 13, and she got the nails cost about 150, hair costs 200, you know what I'm saying, because it's a damn weave, and she kind of fluent, how Eve is with, like that. And you know what I'm saying, I don't know how much the back wings cost, right? But however, so she's spending all this money, you know what I'm saying? Let's say it's about 500 in total. Spending all this money, bro. She come out of the wherever she came from, she come outside, and she just feel like she did the hottest girl on the planet, man. You know? And she just feel like she the hottest girl on the planet, bro, man. And she exposing her body, of course. And she exposing her body to every man, for every man to see. And she just has this proud spirit on her. Man's looking at her, she's like looking at him, kind of brushing him off. Man kind of, wants to open the door for her. She kind of just, yeah, whatever, you know. She just got that proud spirit on, and you just damn, playing with your hair, man. You got a proud spirit on you though. Cause you spent all this money and now you feel like, you're just the best girl in the damn, you just hyping yourself up a little bit too much, man. And it's not of the Lord, you know? So it's kind of that, and kind of like in that sense. The Lord doesn't want our women like that in the truth, you know. Yeah, you can be looking nice on the outward, but just make sure that doesn't put a proud spirit upon you, and that you're focusing on that more than your spirit. Are you meek? That's when the Lord's looking. Are you meek? Are you humble? Are you lowly? Right? Are you like Sarah? Are you like Rachel? You know what I'm saying? Are you like our mighty, mighty foremothers? Right? Are you walking as they walk? Was Sarah damn, having a weave and nails and all this other stuff, and she got damn, you know what I'm saying, just flexing on people? Eve says she's flexing, bro. When was Sarah flexing? Literally. I want to know that precept, bro. So, but we can go back to that.
This book of First Peter chapter 3 and verse 5. For after this manner, in the old time, the holy women also, who trusted in God, adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands.
Right. So after this manner in old time, the holy women also who trusted in the Most High adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husband. And we're going to see an account of the holy women. I mean, there's a lot of accounts of the holy women. You got Judith, Esther, Rachel, Leah. You have Sarah, Rebecca. It's a lot of Deborah. Man, hey, there's a lot. There's a lot. Hey, even in the New Testament, because that's ancient times for us. You have Anna, the prophetess. You have Mary Magdalene, and Mary, the mother of Yahushua. There's also another Mary as well.
Mary of Bethany.
Yeah, called Mary of Bethany. Well, some argue that Mary of Bethany and Mary Magdalene is the same person, though.
Nay, because Mary and Martha were sisters. Mary Magdalene didn't have Martha as a sister. So Mary of Bethany. I was looking into.
Okay, God. But I'm just saying, yeah, kind of certain people, argue that. But you said that, I kind of just stay like I say, yeah, you got Mary and Bethany. We
They
can
also say that Mary Magdalene is Yahushua's wife. I mean, yes, Yahushua's wife.
oh la. No precept. Wait, Con. Oh yeah, it's like you also have Martha, Luke chapter 10. Con, you know. So you have a lot of righteous, mighty women, man. You know. So we about to get one of the accounts, right? But Con, you had anything on that, or you want to keep going?
We can get an account. If you want to get an account, I can read it for you. I can get an account too.
All right, Con. Now you got it. You got it, Con.
Hey, I was thinking you're going to say Abigail, man. You know,
Damn. Got it.
that's one of the mightiest accounts.
Yeah, Con. Yeah.
Let me see.
Well,
As a
that's
man,
you said what?
as a man speaking, it's still like it.
Yeah, Con. First, yeah, Con.
Gosh, I don't know where to start. This whole chapter good for real. It's a good chapter. But when you read 1 Samuel chapter 25, it tells you the ball was a churlish man. David and his men was in the wilderness as pilgrims, and they needed some food. But Nabal acting like he didn't know them. And he spoke rudely to David's servants,
All
and
right.
David, about to hit a lick, and stuff like that. Now let's see what happens when David told his men to gird up his sword. This 1 Samuel 25 and verse 13. And David said unto his men, gird ye on every man his sword. And they girded on every man his sword. And David also girded on his sword. And there went up after David about 400 men, and 200 abode by the stuff. So David had one thing on his mind: vengeance. To take the blood, huh? Just blood. That's the one thing was on his mind. I'm gonna keep going though.
Literally.
Verse 14. But one of the young men told Abigail, Nabal's wife, saying, behold, David sent messengers out of the wilderness to salute our master, and he railed on them. But the men were very good unto us, and we were not hurt, neither missed we anything as long as we were conversing with them when we were in the fields. They were a wall unto us both by night and day, all the while we were with them keeping the sheep. So these servants in the ball is telling the ball's wife, look, we was with David and his men. No, they did us good. They didn't do us no harm. We kept the conversation with them. They protected us and stuff like that. But the thing is, hey, the ball, your husband kind of spoke badly to them, huh? So they just giving a report to the wife. I'm gonna keep going though. Verse 17. Now therefore, know and consider that what thou would do, for evil is determined against our master and against all his household, for he is such a son of Belial that a man cannot speak to him. Then Abigail made haste and took 200 loaves and 2 bottles of wine and 5 sheep ready dressed and 5 measures of parched corn and 100 clusters of raisins and 200 cakes of figs and laid them on asses. Now, why is she doing this? Is she doing it to have a big feast for herself, for the ball and stuff like that? Well, we're going to find out. It reads verse 19, and she said unto her servants, go on before me. Behold, I come after you. But she told not her husband Nabal. And it was so, as she rode on the ass, that she came down by the covert of the hill. And behold, David and his men came down against her, and she met them. Now David has said, surely in vain have I kept all that this fellow hath in the wilderness, so that nothing was missed of all that pertained to him, and you have requited me evil for good. I won't get straight to the point. Verse 23. And when Abigail saw David, she hasted and lighted off the ass and fell before David on her face and bowed herself to the ground and fell at his feet and said, upon me, my Lord, upon me, let this iniquity be, and let thy handmaid, I pray thee, speak in thine audience and hear the words of thy handmaid. Now you can read the rest of the book or the chapter yourself, 1 Samuel 25, but the meekness, calmness, she don't have to pacify anger and stuff like that, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding Lord put up on her. Not everyone can have that, but
Con, that's right. That's one mighty count of one of our righteous formulas for, you know. Now I'm gonna get this one, this account as well. This is a book of First Kings chapter 1. All right. First Kings chapter 1. Mm, yeah, I can get this. Right. This is First Kings chapter 1 verse 15. It says, and Bathsheba went in unto the king into the chamber, and the king was very old, and Abishag the Shunammite ministered unto the king. Now, when you go up to because Abishag in verse 3 says, so they sought for a fair damsel. So that Abishag is this young woman. All right, damsel is a young woman. And she was fair, meaning she was beautiful, right? Throughout all the coasts of Israel, and found Abishag a Shunammite and brought her to the king. And the damsel was very fair. So it says very fair. All right. And cherished the king and ministered to him, but the king knew her not, meaning he didn't lay with her. So going back down to verse 15, it says, and Bathsheba went in unto the king into the chamber, and the king was very old, and Abishag the Shunammite ministered unto the king. And Bathsheba bowed and did obeisance unto the king. And the king said, what wouldest thou? You see that? What wouldest thou? So David, that's crazy, man. It's not like Eve today, bro. Bathsheba, literally, this is one of David's wives. She came in when she saw David being ministered by this beautiful young woman. All right. Now, nothing was, going on in that matter, but he was being ministered by this beautiful young woman. All right. Being ministered onto. Maybe she was tending onto him. She was, maybe, I don't know, feeding him or whatever, whatever she was doing. But it says what? And Bathsheba bowed. She bowed. She came in, she bowed, man. That's the first thing she did, man. As it's written, she bowed. How many women gonna bow to their husband for real, bro? I mean, I don't know. I don't know too many women are gonna bow to their husband for real. I know that if you saw Yahweh Shai gonna bow to him, you better bait. You know what I'm saying? Literally. We see Yahweh Shai, we're gonna fall to our feet as dead, Lord willing, like the Apostle John in the book of Revelation, first chapter. But even certain women probably won't even bow to Yahweh Shai. Who is this? No, I was playing. But that's what I'm saying, man. Our women got to tone it down with the proudness. But it says, and Bathsheba bowed and did obeisance unto the king. And the king said, what wouldest thou? So David's like, what do you want? Right? David's like, what do you want? What do you need? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's up? Right? It says, and she said unto him, my Lord, thou swearest by the Lord thy God unto thine handmaid, saying, assuredly Solomon thy son shall reign after me, and he shall sit upon my throne. Right? So that's it on that. But literally, that's a mighty account, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because she did obeisance unto the king, bowed before him. But yeah, there's a lot of accounts, but I just want to get one each, before we go into Sarah, right? As the Apostle Peter is about to state, right? But let's go back to
that. First Peter chapter 3 and verse 6. Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord.
Calling him what?
Calling him Lord.
Calling him a nick.
Calling him Lord.
Calling him a bit. That was a B word.
Calling him Lord.
Calling him Lord. You got it. And it's like, let's finish real quick.
Whose daughters ye are, as long as ye do well and are not afraid with any amazement.
Yeah, right? It says, who daughters ye are, as long as you do well and are not afraid with any amazement. Meaning, as long as you're doing well, and he's speaking this to the women, as long as you're doing well and you're keeping the commandments, you are a daughter of Sarah, man. Now, yeah, of course, we all come from Sarah, right? We do come from Sarah, but it's just going into like being an actual daughter of Sarah, because the actual daughter of Sarah, she's not going to be out here twerking, bruh. You think a daughter of Sarah is going to be doing that, bro? Twerking in the middle of the street. I saw a video of Eve literally twerking in traffic. So you think a daughter of Sarah is going to be doing? Yes, she comes from Sarah, but the Lord said, whose daughters ye are, as long as you do well. you know, meaning, yeah, you're a daughter through bloodline, but you're for real daughter Sarah in the spirit when you follow after her spirit, when you actually keep the commandments, you know what I'm saying, and are chaste, modest, as she was, man, just like how being a son of the Lord, son of the Most High, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we are Israelites by bloodline, but are you really a son of the Most High? Because the son of the Most High is not going to be out here sleeping with every woman and not making them, your their wives, man, in fornication. A real son of the Most High is not going to be doing that. Son of the Most High is going to be valiant. He's going to be built up in the precepts. He's going to be following the commandments, et cetera, et cetera. So the same thing. But Khan, you got it, King.
I don't have anything on that.
Okay, Khan. Let's just get the account real quick. Genesis 18 verse 12.
Genesis chapter 18 and verse 12. Therefore Sarah laughed within herself, saying, after I am waxed old, shall I have pleasure, my Lord being old also.
See that? And she referred to Abraham as her Lord, man. Does that mean that now your husband is Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah? So now you call your husband Yahweh? No, that's what I'm saying. The Lord said in 1 Corinthians 8 and verse 5, it says, though there be Lord's many, God's many and Lord's many. You know what I'm saying? Or it's like, roughly paraphrase, as there be Lord's many and God's many. So there's many Lords. AHBAYAH, he's a Lord, man. Just how the Lord said in that Psalm chapter 82, verse 6. I have said, you are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. So, according to the precepts, I'm a God. According to the precepts, AHBAYAH is a God, man. He's a Lord. Because he has power. That's what that means. He has power. He has power to do what he wants. If you got in righteousness, if you got ears to hear. He has power to send forth things. He has power over spirits, as the Lord said in the book of Luke, chapter 10, in verse 18 on down. So these things, and if AHBAYAH has a household, guess what? He's Lord over that household. The Lord put him Lord over that household. And guess what? He's Lord over his house, on a spiritual level, right? Certain things like that. So we're lords. And women acknowledging that fact that that their head, and rightfully so, is their Lord. That's righteous, man, and that's written for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So, Khan, you can keep going into that.
Khan. 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 7, and it reads, likewise the husbands dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered.
Right, exactly. So even to the husband, man, we have to dwell according to our women, our wives, according to knowledge, using wisdom with your women. You know what I'm saying? And applying the precepts when we're dealing with them, right? It says giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel. Because that's scripture. They are the weaker vessel. And that's not, so much going into, that they can't bench 130. You know what I'm saying? It's like you over here, you benching 200 and they can't, you bring your you bring your rib to the gym. You bring your rib to the gym and you and your rib is working out and you over here benching 200 and she's over there, she can't even push up the bar. And you pull it 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 7, bro. or she you guys are at home and she's trying to open the jar. She trying to open the jar, she can't open it. She bring it to you and you be like, see that 1 Peter 3 said it's not always going into physical strength, man. Right? Although that's one of the folds, but we know the scriptures is a double fold. So the on a more spiritual level, being a weaker vessel is also in terms of how much they can take in terms of life or situations or not folding under pressure and stuff like that, or spirits, Hey, because women, deal with spirits too, bro. That's Luke chapter 8. Out of Mary came forth 7 spirits. So she had 7 spirits on her. You know what I'm saying? So women, they deal with spirits too, but at the same time, the men is set up to be the stronger vessel to lead the woman. It wouldn't make sense for the woman to be the weaker vessel, and then she's leading the husband, but she's a weaker vessel. So that means if she cracks, the whole thing is coming down, man. That's why the men is set up to be stronger, because he's already ordained to be the leader, both in the physical and in the spiritual. We have to learn how to take things, man. The chin upon the chin, affliction. That's why we go through hell, affliction. The Lord toughen us up, man, so we don't crack. Because if we have a household and we holding up that household, we the foundation, man. So we crack, the whole thing's coming in down. You know what I'm saying? So that's why the woman is a weaker vessel, because she already ordained to follow her husband, which is the stronger. But if you got a precept, you can bring it out, and I'll bring it out after you.
Yeah, that's get this precept. Sirach 36 and verse 25. Where no hedges, there the possession is spoiled. Well, the point is, if where no hedges, there's a possession is spoiled. And when you read this context, if a woman have no man, I mean, something's bound to happen. That's like you having a sheep in the wilderness. I mean, the wolf going to get to it eventually and get torn up in pieces. You know what I'm saying? So, they can't survive on their own. Now, Esau try to make a society to make them independent, but they need those certain stimulus checks. They need certain benefits to be able to survive. They need Section 8 housing, and stuff like that to be able to survive. Food stamps, and stuff like that. But it tells you in Exodus 21 and verse 10 that the man is supposed to provide all that, man. Because again, those are the weaker vessels and stuff like that. I had another precept in mind, I want to go to 1 Timothy real quick as well. 1 Timothy chapter 2. Let's look at 1 Timothy chapter 2. I believe I want verse 10. 1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 13. And it reads, For Adam was first formed, then Eve, and Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression. So like the brother says, doublefold. On a physical level, yeah, they're weaker. You know what I'm saying? They're not squatting. Well, actually, I don't know, because CrossFit got some dang on masculine behind women, man. It's off. But, on a physical level, the Lord created them to be, they're not as strong as the men. But on a spiritual level as well, like the brother said, they can't handle certain things. They're not as knowledgeable as certain men. Don't get me wrong. Sister, they very wise, got a lot of understanding, a lot of knowledge and stuff like that. But chiefly, it was made for the man to go into the prophecies and break things down. The prophets and stuff like that. They're out there shaking their hand, stuff like that. There's no female. There's no female out there shaking the hand like men. No, Deborah, the prophetess, she was not out there shaking the hand, huh? Or the judge, I'll say. That's what it would say. Or you have Anna, if I'm not mistaken. She wasn't out there shaking the hand. That was made for the men. But
Yeah, that's right. And that precept, I was just about to go there too. Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression. So it's because the woman wasn't under Adam and wasn't following the law, statutes, commandments of the Lord ordained for the women to follow. That's why the Lord said in Genesis 3rd chapter, like how the brother pulled as well, the women literally, their desire is to the men. Because at the end of the day, you can get mad about it, but Eve made that, she went off because she went and did her own thing. She didn't follow everything with her husband. And therefore, because of that, she got the beguiled. Literally in the book of Sirach, the 25th chapter, in verse 23 on down, it says, of the women came sin. Through her, we all die. It's like we all die. Right? It's like this book, Sirach, chapter 25, verse 24. Sorry, verse 24. Of the women came the beginning of sin, and through her we all died. So that's a precept. It literally says, of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all died. All right. meaning because Eve went off and she ate of the fruit that was forbidden, and she gave it to her husband instead of actually going to her husband and talking about it. You know what I'm saying? And showing that to her husband, she just took of it and she ate of it, bro. She thought she was right in her mind. You know what I'm saying? She thought that she didn't have to run it by her husband and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? She didn't have to run it by the Lord and you know, by her Lord, if you got ears to hear, you know. But we can go back to that. Right. So that's why, you know, and women don't get discouraged if you read that precept. Oh, wait, I'm the weaker vessel. Right. So that means you don't do nothing now. I'm too weak for it. I can't do it. I'm too weak. You know, you can't cook because you can't pick up the pan because you're too weak, right? Too weak to pick up the pan. Can't cook. Or you can't make garments. A, to sew, you need to be a little strong. All right. Your hands need to be a little strong, all right? To sew. You know, because back then, bro, our women, they weren't hella weak. Literally. I mean, they weren't hella weak because they had to tend to the sheep, tend to the cows, milk the cows. You think our women was doing that, bro? You know what I'm saying? Our women was doing. They was making literal garments, wool. Shit, they had to you know, was it? It was like a ancient thing, you know, of antiquity. It was like it was like a spinning thing made cotton,
A
like a cloth.
spindle or something like
Yeah,
that.
like a
Spindle or
spindle. Yeah,
spindle.
yeah. I'm gonna look it up real quick. Like a spindle or something like that. Like yeah, kind of like a yeah, it was like a spindle or like a yeah, it's like a machine. You know what I'm saying? Like an ancient machine. Yeah, you know, like something like that. You know, like the wheel. It was a little bit more ancient, or like they had like ancient things, but they had to get on that, bro. They had to make pottery. You know what I'm saying? They had to make pots and stuff like that. That took time and effort. I mean, it takes physical labor to do that. You know, blood, sweat, and tears. They had to tend to the house and the backyard and all this other stuff. So, I'm led to believe they were planting trees. They were gardening too. You know, our women were gardeners, bro. You can't, you have to be able to pick up certain stuff to do that. You have to be a little strong to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm led to believe, hey, back in the times of antiquity, they weren't that weak. They had to be a little strong to do that. And even up from their youth, they were doing that, man. Because that was our tradition to do so, and custom and way of life. All right. It wasn't just sitting in the house all day, bro. Just not doing nothing, you know, playing video games or something like that. Or talking on the phone or something like that. Not talking about nothing, you know. Stuff like that. So they weren't doing that. It was actually doing so, and even in the book of Proverbs, the 31st chapter, 8, it talks about how the virtuous woman is doing that too. She's making moves, right? She's buying land. She's making garments and she sells it. She tends after the household, things of that nature.
Kind of got a precept with that too.
You got it.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 35, verse 25. And all the women that were wise-hearted, it didn't say all the women that was foolish, but that was wise-hearted, did spin with their hands. I'm talking about that spindle, man, for lack of better terms, or spindle, whatever it's called. It says it in Proverbs 31. But it says, and all the women that were wise-hearted did spin with their hands and brought that which they had spun, both of blue and of purple and of scarlet and of fine linen. And all the women whose heart stirred them up in wisdom spun goat's hair. So it was getting down with the purple, the blue, different colors. You had to be wise to do that. They had to stretch out the cotton. They had to make it, more compact and stuff like that, more stretchy. You got to be wise to do that, man. Now, if you look at a piece of cotton, you're going to be like, how do I do this? You kind of playing with it, tossing it. You might try to play basketball with it, man, going off. But they were sewing in this thing, making shirts or garments. But
Yeah, I guess I got a quick preset real quick. First, and that's a good preset too, they was literally working with their hands, man. But first, Ezra chapter 4 and verse number See that? First Ezra chapter 4. Unless you want to start at though. You know. Yeah, first Ezra chapter 4, verse 34. O ye men, are not women strong? So which one is it? Now the Bible is contradictory. Now we have to throw it away, right? Because in one place it says that the women are strong, and in another place it says that they're the weaker vessel. So then which one is it? Now, women, they're strong. Don't get me wrong. Hey, women are strong, bro. Because they're highly influential to the men. They know how to, they are wise. All right. They know how to do certain things. And like how even on the physical level, they can be strong too. Not saying that they cannot be strong, but the thing is that lot to be strong, right? And to lead, guide, be a valiant man and all this other stuff and taking up a war and fighting a spiritual battle and all this other stuff, it was given to the men, right? And stuff like that, right? And in terms of taking affliction and taking it upon the chin, all right, and not giving up when times is hard. So hey, that lot was given to the men, you know. So that's what the priest is just going into. Give honor unto the women as unto the weaker vessel. Don't treat your woman like another brother. Saying, y'all about Shemel Sharak. You know what I'm saying? And you do the mighty salute. Y'all about Shemel Sharak. You know, the mighty arm. You know what I'm saying? You got a mighty arm, just been working out. Y'all about Shemel Sharak. And now she broke her head, man. You broke her head. Now you going to hell off, man. You know what I'm saying? Or you, hey, you know, but patting your wife on the back hella hard, push her around, you know, kind of just push her around. She kind of fall on the floor. You know what I'm saying? Brother, what are you doing, man? You know what I'm saying? But you can't just treat her like another. She's a weaker vessel. She's a woman, you know. Women supposed to be delicate, you know, literally, right? Like a lily, right? But come on, we can keep going in that.
First Peter chapter 3 and verse 8, I believe. Yeah, verse 8. Finally, be all of one mind, having compassion one of another, love as brethren, be pitiful, be courteous.
Con, and we want to all have those traits. But con, let's keep going.
Not rendering evil for evil, or railing for railing, but contrariwise blessing, knowing that ye are thereunto called, that ye should inherit a blessing.
Con, that's right. So, and that's what Yahweh taught as well in Matthew 5. You know, the Lord said, love your enemies, do good to them that hate you. You know what I'm saying? Pray for them that which despitefully use you and persecute you. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the Lord said. We're not rendering evil for evil. This brother, he let's say he stole from you, right? This brother, he stole from you. Now you steal from him. No, brother, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? The Lord doesn't want us to walk like that, like niggas in the world. Oh, he got my homie. Damn. I'm gonna go get his homie. Oh, he killed my. I'm gonna go kill his bro. Oh, he killed my mom. I'm gonna kill his mom and his grandma and his baby mama and his children. But that's how people think in the world, man. And that's evil, bro. Because the Lord said, don't do that. The Lord said, avenge on yourselves. The Lord said, Proverbs chapter 20, verse 22, the Lord said, wait on the Lord. Right? Recompense not evil, but wait on the Lord and he shall save thee. That's what the Lord said, bro. But our people don't have, you know what I'm saying, those precepts running through their minds. That's why we're doing these videos. You know what I'm saying? That's why we laboring, man. Right? But I'm gonna just pull that precept real quick and I'll pass it. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 20. You know, the Lord, he said, vengeance is mine, I will repay. You know, this is Proverbs chapter 20, verse 22. Say not thou, I will recompense evil, but wait on the Lord and he shall save thee. So the Lord said, don't say, all right, I'm gonna recompense evil. You know, well, Esau, guess what? He killed us. I'm gonna start killing him. You just got that spirit on you of the Nat Turner spirit. You just start killing Edomites. Every Edomite you just start killing Edomites. Brother, no, it's not. It's time and place for everything, right? Don't say not that I'll recompense evil, but wait on the Lord and he shall save. And this precept is really for our people, First Peter 3 and verse 9. It's really being applied to our people, and how we treat each other. All right, but Con, you got it.
And what's it called? I'm gonna get this precept real quick. Yeah, you don't want to render evil for evil. It can be something from a major standpoint, as like the brother's saying. You got people getting laid down in the streets, getting shot, getting put to death, shooting people's cousins, and they won't get that get back. They go slide on. They shooting at the house, man, lighting that thing up, and the grandma get hit and she die. So that's why it's an ongoing war between certain gangs, because they want that get back, rendering evil for evil to a small scale. And again, we're still in a relationship topic, man. In a relationship, man, rendering evil for evil, you might your wife might call you out your name, then you call her out her name, and now it's an ongoing what's called argument, man. All hell just breaking loose to the point, brother, you're on the couch, sleeping on the couch, and that's your house. You pay the bills, you're on the couch while she's on a king size mattress, sleeping with the door locked, man. Right, so you don't want to render evil for evil. You might be with the brother. He might cut you off. Oh, this brother, he cut me off. I'm going to cut him off now. No, man, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? You got to be forgiving, understanding, too. And a lot of people get evil suspicions in their mind and stuff like that. And they think a brother did this, and whether it be intentionally or not. Now, they want to do the same thing back, man. Stuff like that. Yeah, this brother, I don't know. He didn't read Mighty for me, so I'm not going to read Mighty for him. And that might be big in Israel. I wouldn't be surprised that happened. He didn't read Mighty for me, so I'm not going to read Mighty for him. That's off, man. That's off his head. You over here fumbling the precepts on purpose. My bad, right? Hey, the brother told you, read it mightily. Con, this the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 68. Brother, why are you doing that, man? Because now you're not really doing it to him. You're doing that to the Lord. You see that?
Right. That's right.
People don't understand that. This is the book of 1 Thessalonians, chapter 5, and verse 15. See that none render evil for evil unto any man, but ever follow that which is good, both among yourselves and to all men. And that's plain upon tables, man. I'm trying to think of this one other precept, but it's not hitting my spirit right now. So that's the Lord. But Con, you got it, King.
Con, that's right, man. I got a precept real quick, and that's why Matthew 5 goes into that, man. Matthew 5, man, right? Being perfect in this thing, bro. Because, keeping the commandments, keeping the law, like, keeping your beard and wearing fringes, right? Stuff like that. Keep the Sabbath. But the Lord said in Matthew 5:48, that's why he said, be therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect. Because you're striving for perfection when you are putting yourself in subjection, not rendering evil for evil. Because the law actually says render evil for evil. It says eye for eye, tooth for a tooth, burning for burning, foot for foot, life for a life. That's what the law literally says. But the Lord said, be therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect. You know what I'm saying? The Lord said, love your enemies. So that's striving for that perfection. That's actually going above and beyond if you got ears here, if you can understand, So let's go to Matthew 5 and verse. Let's go to Matthew 5 and verse 47. And if you salute your brethren, man, I'm sorry, verse 45. It says that ye may be the children of your Father which is in heaven. For he maketh his sun to rise on the evil and the good, and sendeth rain on the just and the unjust. So the Lord, and he's good to the just and to the unjust. I mean, guess what? It's the same sun that rises and sets upon us. It's that same sun, that nourishes us, that rises upon the just and the unjust. The Lord sends rain to the just and the unjust. The Lord still provides for the unjust, still eating pork, shrimp, crab, lobster. stuff like that. They're still doing that, but guess what? They're living well. They're living okay. You know what I'm saying? So it's that same thing, right? And the Lord said, be like that. It says, for if you love them which love you, what reward have ye? Do not even the publicans the same? So the Lord's like, hey, if you just love those that love you, why should you be praised for that? Right? What type of how is that going above and beyond? How is that being perfect? Right? How is that hard to do? To love people that love you. You know what I'm saying? It's not hard, right? It shouldn't be hard. It says, and if you salute your brethren only, what do you more than others? So if you only salute your brothers only, and some might even take this as brothers in your camp, right? Let's say you only salute brothers in your camp. Are you W5? Okay, Yahweh, right? But if you see another brother from another camp, he has fringes on, brings out he knows the precepts. But wait, are you W5? Hold on, you Sakari? Oh, not. All right, well, whatever. And you don't salute him, bro. You don't salute him. The Lord said, let me get this precept, bro. This precept. Let me get this precept, bro. That's what the Lord said, right? It's what the Lord said. This is the book of Philippians, chapter 4, verse 21. It says, salute every saint in Mahashiach Yahushua. That is a cut for all people in the truth that don't salute other camps, man. Just because his brother's not in another camp, it don't mean you don't salute them, man. What precept is that, bro? You know what I'm saying? It says, salute every saint in Mahashiach Yahushua. The brethren which are with me greet you. That's in the Bible. So what is it saying? An Israelite, right? Who's blessed and endowed with this knowledge and wisdom and understanding and believes in Yahushua. So God forbid that I should not salute them, man. So the Lord said, if you salute your brethren only, what do you more than others? Do not even the publican. So be therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect, man. So that's what I'm saying, right? So we should show that same love to everybody, man. Not rendering evil for evil. But Khan, you got it, King.
God found this precept, 1 Samuel chapter 24 and verse 17. And he said to David, so when you read 1 Samuel, man, 1 Samuel, you have Saul always trying to get at David because that envy spirit was upon him, man. Now, when you read about Saul, Saul was always rewarding David evil, man, and things of that nature.
Yeah.
But David, he never touched Saul because he knew that was the Lord's anointed. It's 1 Samuel chapter 24 and verse 17. And it reads, and he said to David, thou art more righteous than I, for thou hast rewarded me good, whereas I have rewarded thee evil. So David's fleeing from Saul. Like he's fleeing from what's it called? From Esau or something, huh? From a lion, right? But the thing is, David, he still didn't put his hand against him. He still didn't want nothing to happen to Saul, because he was still rewarding good, even though he was rewarded evil. So David was already keeping that commandment, man, because he was in the spirit. You got to really be in the spirit to do certain things, man. You know how hard it is for certain brothers and sisters to reward someone good while they reward you evil. They backbite against you. They give you a bad image. They bring down your name. They make you look like you're the bad guy, right? And stuff like that, man. But you still cool with them. You still bless them, salute them, even bring them gifts or something, man, or charity alms for them. You have to be in the spirit to do that. Only by pride and envy of the devil that creepeth in will make you want to reward evil for evil. But even it tells you Christ that he was a lamb led to the slaughter. He when he got punched in the face, was he punching back? No, he just took that on the chin. Sometimes you got to be in the spirit and just take things on the chin. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. This is Isaiah chapter 53. Let me see something real quick if I can find it. Isaiah 53 and verse 7. He was oppressed and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. He is brought as a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before her shearers is dumb, so he openeth not his mouth. So he wasn't fighting that thing, man. He didn't render evil for evil. But come on. But did you just read it? Overcome the evil with the good, or something like that?
Oh no.
Okay. But
That's
you got
Romans.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, con. That's a good precept too. I believe that's Romans 12, right?
I believe so.
Con. That's a good precept. No, but yeah, that what you just read is a good precept as well. And damn, oh yeah, con, it's right here. I'm gonna share my screen real quick. It's also a good precept. Cause real quick, I had a brother say Yahusha. So it's Psalm chapter 109, verse 4. For my love, they are my adversaries, but I give myself unto prayer. Right. So sometimes it's like you just might have to give yourself unto prayer, bro. Because you might giving somebody so much love and then they still just your enemy, still do you bad, bro. Still do you wrong. You know, sometimes you just gotta you just give yourself unto prayer. How about you pray to the Lord, and that calms you down. It says, and they rewarded me evil for good and hatred for my love. So they rewarded and this is David really talking through the spirit, you know what I'm saying, about Yahweh. But the same thing happened to David too in the book of Psalms, the 35th chapter. You know, it says, and they rewarded me evil for good and hatred for my love. So sometimes that might happen, bro. But the Lord said, wait on the Lord. You know, it said, you shall see your desire upon the wicked. You know, so that's what the Lord said. You know, you want to see that desire. You know, you want to see what you want to happen to the wicked. You're going to see it. The Lord's going to do it for you. You don't have to do it yourself. The Lord's going to do it for you. You know, because if somebody's rewarding you evil for your good, that's on them, and the Lord's going to get up with them, right? You know, and Lord, and God forbid that's any one of us. Because let's go back to that First Peter, man. Right.
First Peter, chapter 3, verse 10. For he that will love life and see good days, let him refrain his tongue from evil and his lips that they speak no guile.
Yeah, that's on to the 34 verse 13 on down. And this shows you how the apostles, they was just quoting the Old Testament for real, you know, and was like how I say, I was talking to Judah Mani about that earlier today. I was just basically, we were just saying, like, you know, I was saying really through the spirit, like, you know, these epistles is like watching a breakdown, you know, it's like watching a breakdown of the apostles that walked with Yahweh and that saw Yahweh and had the knowledge directly from him, breaking down things of the Old Testament, because Yahweh was that light of the world. And so they were just shining that light that they received from Yahweh, shining the light on certain scriptures that were aforetime misunderstood. Well, not misunderstood, but couldn't be understood to the full extent, and were now, you know, understood. So they were just bringing their breakdown through the spirit about them, you know, but through the lens of Yahweh, that makes sense, through the light of Yahweh, you know. But that's basically what I want to say.
Verse 11. Let him eschew evil and do good. Let him seek peace and ensue it.
Meaning keep the commandments, literally. I mean that. So why are you saying that the apostles don't teach to keep the commandments? They're literally quoting that. You know? But we keep going.
For the eyes of the Lord are over the righteous, and his ears are open unto their prayers, but the face of the Lord is against them that do evil.
That's right. I got a quick precept. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 18 and verse 6. In my distress, I called upon the Lord and cried unto my God. He heard my voice out of his temple, and my cry came up before him, even into his ears. You see that? So this is David talking. And see, he said when he cried unto the Lord, that prayer went straight up through the clouds and went into the ears of the Lord. Now, the ears and the eyes of the Lord, you know, We know that the eyes of the Lord is going into the angels. Okay, that's Second Chronicles chapter 16 to verse 9. Okay, said that the eyes of the Lord run to and fro throughout the whole earth. Okay, that's talking about the angels. All right. And the eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. That's Proverbs chapter 15, verse 3. It's talking about the angels. Okay. So, the ears of the Lord also, because the angels, they bring those prayers up to the Lord. All right. So these things are metaphorical, right? But it literally says, my cry came up before him, even into his ears. So the righteous, the righteous prayer, it's like the fervent righteous prayer of a righteous man, roughly paraphrasing, availeth much. That's what the scripture says in James chapter 5. So it's going to reach up to the heaven. What kind you got it, King? Got it.
Just precept with that. Acts chapter 10 and I'll start at verse 3. He saw in a vision, evidently about the 9th hour of the day, an angel of God coming in to him and saying unto him, Cornelius. And when he looked on him, he was afraid and said, What is it, Lord? And he said to him, Thy prayers and thine alms are come up for a memorial before God. So your prayers go up before the Most High God, if you're righteous. If you're wicked, the Lord's not hearing that, man. Look at the classic. John 9:31. So the Lord's not hearing the prayer of the wicked. You'll be here eating pork. He's not hearing that. Shrimp, crab, and lobster, you're trying to pray over it, but the Lord didn't hear that prayer. You over here killing your brother, and next thing you know, you're trying to pray. The Lord's not hearing that, man. It's John chapter 9 and verse 31, and it reads, Now we know that God heareth not sinners, but if any man be a worshiper of God and doeth his will, him he heareth. So the Lord hear the prayers of those who keep his commandments and believe in the Most High God and his son Yahweh, man. But
Khan, that's right. It's that's a good precept. It's the book of Jonah, chapter 2, verse 7. When my soul fainted within me, I remembered the Lord, and my prayer came in unto thee into thine holy temple. See that? So how about you now, Rashad? I guess what the prayers, they go up to the Lord, even into the holy temple that the Lord is abiding in, And I got a quick precept on that as well. Psalm chapter 111, it's like Psalm chapter 11 and verse 4. The Lord is in his holy temple. The Lord's throne is in heaven. His eyes behold, his eyelids try the children of men. See that? So the Lord is beholding everything, man. And the Lord said that the eyes of the Lord are over the righteous, and his ears are open unto their prayers, not unto the prayers of the whole world. Okay. John 9 and verse 31. For we know that God heareth not sinners. Okay. So if you want to continue in the iniquity and you don't want to listen to the Lord said, he that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be an abomination. Proverbs chapter 29, verse 28 and verse 4. All right. But hold on. His ears are open unto Slakia. Eyes of the Lord are over the righteous. Kind. Quick precept on that. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 34 and verse number 18. Behold, the eye of the Lord is upon them that fear him, upon them that hope in his mercy, to deliver their soul from death and to keep them alive in famine. You see that? So the eye of the Lord, meaning the angel, is upon them that fear him. Okay. So that's what the scripture says. So if we fear the Lord, that means that the angels are always watching upon us. The Lord is always, beholding us and keeping us safe. He's keeping an eye on you. Just like how, like, for example, a man might be like, hey, can you keep my eye on my son real quick? I'll be right back. And that's how the Lord is. He's taking diligent. Hey, don't do that, because he knows that he has to keep an eye on this person's son. Bro. He has to keep an eye on you. Or even like a father brings his son to a park. He's keeping a diligent eye. He's watching out for all these damn Edomites out here and might snatch his child, bro. Like a creep, bro. Like a creep and do whatever with him. You know what I'm saying? So his father is keeping a diligent eye on him. He's not looking nowhere else. He's keeping a diligent eye. That's his son, and he cares about him. Doesn't want him to get snatched up by some demons. All right, on a twofold level. All right, but go back to that.
First Peter chapter 3, verse 13, and it reads, "And who is he that will harm you if you be followers of that which is good?"
Yeah, meaning if God is for you, who can be against you? You know, unless you should be happily find yourself to fight against the Most High. Yeah, actually have to fight. As it states. What kind you got it?
Verse 14, "But and if you suffer for righteousness' sake, happy are ye, and be not afraid of their terror, neither be troubled."
God, that's right. If you suffer for righteousness' sake, happy are ye. Be not afraid of the terror, not to be troubled. So, because I mean, we go through pain and tribulation. Sometimes for being slacky for keeping the commandments, being righteous. You know, the Lord said, if you suffer for that, you're happy. You know what I'm saying? Don't hang your head down sadly. The Lord said, be happy for that. The Lord said, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you. But rejoice in that day, bro. The Lord said, happy are ye, or blessed are ye poor, for yours is the kingdom of heaven. In the book of Luke, chapter 6, verse 20. There's a lot of precepts on that, bro. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivered them out of them all. It's so many precepts on that. We go all in all, damn all night on precepts on that. But
I'm going to just preach it real quick. First Peter chapter 4 and verse 14, and it reads, "If you be reproached for the name of Christ, happy are ye, for the spirit of glory and of God resteth upon you. On their part he is evil spoken of, but on your part he is glorified." So if you're actually keeping the commandments, man, you're in this truth, you believe in the Most High God, you believe in His Son, you're still going through hell. You might have people look upon you and be like, what's going on, man? You really want to serve that God that makes you go like Job's wife, stuff like that. Now you didn't do anything wrong, but yet you're going through hell because the Lord's proving you and trying you, right? But I'm gonna keep going though. But that's the point. Verse 15. "But let none of you suffer as a murderer, or as a thief, or as an evildoer, or as a busybody in other men's matter. Yet if any man suffer as a Christian, let him not be ashamed, but let him glorify God on this behalf." So if you over here committing adultery, you over here being a evildoer, a busybody, and stuff like that, you start going through hell. You can't be like, "I'm on fire. I'm going through a fire. I mean, the Lord's dealing with me." No, brother, you just got done murdering somebody. Like, come on, brother. You doing life in prison. Talking about, I might be wearing the apostles back on the earth, man. I'm really in this thing, man. Hey, all praise to the Most High. You got jammed up because you're not moving in the spirit. You're wicked, brother. So what the Lord means in that, when you suffer for righteousness' sake, that's good. When you suffer for wickedness, I mean, that's obvious not good, man.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You talking about your car got stolen. He's like, damn, the Lord, man. First Peter 4 and 12. But brother, bro, you literally used that car last week to go commit adultery, bro. What are you talking about? First Peter 4 and 12. How's that First Peter 4 and 12, brother? It could just be judgment. You didn't think about that? You literally just got done last week committing adultery. Damn. Another man's wife. You break with wedlock, as the scripture said. But see that.
First Peter chapter 3 and verse 15. "But sanctify the Lord God in your hearts, and be ready always to give an answer to every man that asketh you a reason of the hope that's in you with meekness and fear."
That's right. That's right. So I want to pull up the Greek for that real quick. You have to give an answer to every man that asks you a reason. All right. They ask you a question. You have to you literally have to give them an answer. All right. Now, of course, you do have accounts in which you want to avoid foolish questions in the book of 2 Timothy Second chapter states that. But you want to give an answer to every man, all right? Scriptural question and stuff like that. You don't want to be, let's say you got sincere sheep coming up, they're asking 1,000 questions, and they are because they want to learn. They have 1,000 questions, and the brother's just like, you only can ask me 3 questions. After that, keep it moving. Brother, what? What are you talking about? He only has 3 questions. What precept is that, bro? Only 3 questions, keep it moving. I want to prophesy. Brother, what are you talking about? Right? Or or people is asking you questions and like, nah, I'm not here to ask questions. I'm not here to answer questions. I'm here to teach. So shut up and I'm gonna teach. That's it. And this brother, he never asks it. He never answers questions. So people have questions, but he never answers questions. He's just like, you come here for the lesson, I'm gonna just teach, and that's it. You're not asking no questions. Brother, how can you consider yourself a teacher if you can't answer questions? Doesn't make sense. But it's like it says an answer, okay? So this word for answer is apologia.
Strong's G 627. Apologia. Apologia.
Apologia, right? Which means what? Verbal defense, speech and defense, a reason, statement, or argument, right? It's the word for answer, essentially. Now, that's where you get the word apologist. That's actually where you get the word apologist. So let me look this up real quick, right? It's lucky. That's where you get the word apologist from. Because you might have heard of, apologist, whatever. Apologist, a person who offers an argument in defense of something controversial. So apologist, that's where you get that word from, apologia, meaning to answer or to make an argument, right? Give an account, a defender, right? Stuff like that. So these people that call themselves apologists, like for example, Vocab Malone, he calls himself an urban apologist. That means you have to answer every question, So, and that's essentially what we are. We're apologists because we offer arguments in defense of something controversial. This Bible is controversial. Every time we go out into the highways and byways, we're proclaiming ourselves as apologists because we're ready for any smoke that the Lord may send, man. You know what I'm saying? Through the Spirit, Lord willing. Whether that's Christianity or Islam or somebody, a brother with a certain stronghold, we have to be able to, through the Spirit, break down the strongholds and answer those questions. Though they may be, mocking questions, or though they may be scoffing questions. That's why, brothers even practice. This brother asked me scoffing questions. I'm like scratching my head. I'm like, all right, sometimes I ask this brother confounding questions, right? And he's like, well, if you go to this preset, that's why we have to sharpen each other. Because when we go into the highways and byways, we can't be like, you got a scoffer coming up, he asking questions. And the brother's just pulling, the brother's like, no, I'm not answering that. I'm not answering that. I'm not answering that. You're not answering no questions, though. I'm not answering that. All right, we're not dealing with it. Your brother just asked one question. He just said, where does the Bible come from? And you're like, I'm not answering that. Brother, you have to answer it. You know what I'm saying? Now, if it goes into other things, that's another thing. But brother, you have to answer it, right? Because it's all for the edification, But that's all. Yeah, that's all I wanted to get on that though.
Okay, that's beautiful. Very beautiful. 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 16. Having a good conscience, that whereas they speak evil of you as of evildoers, they may be ashamed that falsely accuse your good conversation in Christ.
Right, that's right. We don't have right? Because people, they speak evil of us. They speak evil of men and women in the truth. It says as evildoers. So they might even be speaking so bad about us. They talking about us like we're murderers or somebody, man. They talking so bad about us like we're, Edomites. you know, there's so many accounts of Eve getting so mad at us, correcting our people, and saying to hell with the so-called white man, and defending the so-called white man, and things of that nature, right? They get so mad at us. Why don't you have that same energy for the same man that oppressed you, man? And it's still oppressing you. So they talk down on this, they talk to us like we're damn dogs, or they talk about us we're dogs, man. We're literally your brothers and your sisters trying to pull you back to the Lord, man. Trying to show you that good and right way. That's all we're trying to do, literally. But it says that they may slack you as evildoers, they may be ashamed that falsely accuse your good conversation amongst you up. And that's all false accusations for real. All right. And they're going to be ashamed on that day. What kind you got it, King?
Verse 17. For it is better, if the will of God be so, that you suffer for well doing than for evil doing.
That's just what the brother was bringing up.
Verse 18. For Christ also hath once suffered for sins, the just for the unjust, that he might bring us to God, being put to death in the flesh, but quickened by the Spirit.
Right. So even though Yahweh, because guess what? He suffered for sins. He was the just, but he suffered for the unjust. That shows you how humble Yahweh is. He laid down his life for a wicked ass generation of Israelites. He said, generation of vipers, bruh. Woe unto you, hypocrites. But the Lord, he died for him, man. Literally. He died for the Jakes sagging their pants. I mean, he literally died for them. Because not too long ago, we were the same Jakes, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Not too long ago, Eve, you was those same Eves, man. That's ratchet as hills, damn twerking your ass, man. Stuff like that. But the Lord died for him. It says being put to death in the flesh, but quickened by the Spirit. But kind you got it, King.
Can we get this precept real quick? Romans chapter 5 and verse 7. For scarcely for a righteous man will one die. So people in the truth, for a righteous man, a brother Yasharala, brothers won't even dare to. Hey, brothers probably won't even die for the brother Yasharala, man. They probably wouldn't die. They probably wouldn't die for a righteous brother. It says, I'm gonna read again. For scarcely for a righteous man will one die. Yet peradventure, perhaps for a good man, some would even dare to die, man. Even dare. You see that? But guess what? The Lord died for sinners. You're here scratching your head if you should die for your brother who keeps the commandments. The Lord died for people who wasn't even keep the commandments, man.
Yeah.
Just to touch on with that precept about the just, for the unjust.
All right. And that's crazy, man. It shows you how great our King is for willing to sacrifice his life for a generation whom he knew is wicked as hell. Dying for people, that's crazy. Literally slapping you in the face and punching you in the face. And putting you upon a cross, man. Yahweh died for those men and those women. Hey, we couldn't done that. The flesh probably would have got the best of us for real. Oh hell nah, get the hell out of here. Because remember, Yahweh he had literally. Hold on, let me real quick. I mean, he literally had all power. And this is the book of Matthew chapter 26 and verse 51. It's great. And behold, one of them which were with Yahweh, and one of the other synoptic gospels, it says that is Peter, right? But it says, stretched out his hand and drew his sword and struck a servant of the high priest and smote off his ear. Then said Yahweh unto him, get up again thy sword into his place, for all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword. And that links up with Revelation 13 verse 10. Thinkest thou not that I cannot now pray to my Father, and he shall presently give me more than 12 legions of angels? But how then shall the scriptures be fulfilled that thus it must be? You see that? So Yahweh was like, Peter, don't you think, knucklehead, musclehead, don't you think? And I'm led to believe, hey, Yahweh wanted to call him fool. Hey, thou fool, Peter, don't you think that I can just call upon my Father and he's going to send me a legion of angels, man? It says 12 legions of angels. Hey, I don't know how much that is, man. Because remember, in the heavens, it said thousands and thousands and thousands of angels, man, ministered unto him. You know, as it states in Daniel and Revelation, I believe, right? But literally, so Yahweh is in charge of all the angels, literally. So he can send a death angel, he can send a, whatever type of spirits he wants, bro. But he said, hey, but then how can the scriptures be fulfilled? But then I'll be going to hell off. That's what Yahweh was saying. But then I would transgress against the Most High. And I'm not trying to do that. I have to be without spot and without blemish. I have to be that perfect sacrifice. Because if I didn't die for the nation, then all my father's plan would be messed up. You know what I'm saying? It would be completely messed up. Imagine if Yahweh was just like, you know what? F this, man. I don't give it in. And he sent 12 legions of angels and he took over the kingdom. So he just took Rome, right? Now Yahweh is the king over Rome ever since. Been reigning since 30 AD up until now, right? The whole plan would be messed up. Why would there be an Acts of the Apostles? There wouldn't be the Acts of the Apostles. There wouldn't be Pauline epistles. There wouldn't be the Book of Revelation. And we definitely wouldn't be here right now, doing this video, right? So all that would be messed up. So that's why Yahweh was like, hey, guess what? Even though I can do that, I have power to do so. I'm not going to do it, though. How much self-control is that, though? For real. That's a lot of self-control. You have power. You look at, I'm pretty sure Yahweh was just looking at Pilate like, boy, what are you talking about? Pilate was like, don't you know that I can release thee and I can crucify you? Don't you know I got power? And Yahweh was probably like, bro, what the hell you talking? You know who you talking to? But Yahweh he's like, hey man, I can't move in that spirit. He said, hey, thou sayest something, King of Jews. I never said I was, but you said that. That's the Lord, man. He said, I never said it. You said it, man. And you said what you said. I don't know. I didn't say that. So, but yeah, that's our Lord though, man. It's crazy. All right.
It's fire. 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 19, and it reads, but which also he went and preached unto the spirits in prison.
Right. So I didn't know that Christians actually take this precept and they say that when Yahweh died, right? They say when Yahweh died, he was in hell. Like, how they say what hell is, right? They said that he was in hell for 3 days and 3 nights. And so when he was in hell with Satan, right? Just chilling there. I don't know what he was doing, but I don't know what they said he was doing. He was just chilling with Satan, basically. He was chilling in hell, right? So he was chilling in hell. And when he was there, he was teaching to people that was in hell. He was teaching to them that peradventure they may come into the knowledge and of the truth. But that's what they say. That's what they say. I don't know how they take all that from that one precept. That's crazy.
So Christ is down in so-called hell trying to teach people the word while they're getting burnt up by fire.
Yeah,
he's screaming. He said, you see right here, right here it tells you this, that, and the third. And they getting burnt out, man.
Yeah, I was trying to shake their head. And the place is burdened. I don't know where he would be standing at. You know what I'm saying? he kind of just burned it up in the flame too. I don't know what the hell. So that's what they say though, and that's why they say when you basically in the resurrection in Matthew 26, it's like Matthew 20. Wait, so what?
Matthew 27 about the resurrection.
Matthew 27, and the spirits came back up. I believe that they take that also and link it up with that to say, okay, these are the spirits that came back up from hell. They were delivered. That's what they say.
They really be digging with it. Dang, that's all.
Yeah, that's crazy. Now I don't know that's not every Christian belief, but that is an old, kind of Catholic belief that actually occurred. I didn't know that though. You know what I'm saying? So certain Christians may even hold to that, but certain Christians may say, okay, I don't believe in that though, but that's what they say though,
Yeah, I heard that fable or whatever a while ago before the truth. But I didn't know they go to this precept to validate that.
Yeah.
But whole time they don't know that the spirits in prison. It's just us in this flesh, man.
That's right.
In this flesh, man.
That's right.
So like, I want to get this precept real quick. There, man. So Psalms 142 and verse 7. Bring my soul out of prison, that I may praise thy name. The righteous shall compass me about, for thou shalt deal bountifully with me. Now David said, hey, bring my soul out of prison. Because this flesh can feel like prison, man. You don't get treated good in prison. When you're in prison, that means you're doing time. You're doing a sentence in that thing, man.
Right.
You don't get it treated right. And this flesh, our spirit don't get treated right, man. The flesh weighs down the spirit, committing sin. This flesh oppresses you, man. Even told you in Isaiah 42, we're the prisoners in this thing. I can get another precept. You can get a precept if you want to. I'll get this other precept. If you have one. If not, then it's straight.
I got a quick one. Yeah. This is Isaiah 51 verse 14. The captive exile hasteneth that he may be loosed, and that he should not die in the pit, nor that his bread should fail. So just like how if you're in prison, like an actual literal prison, you want to get the hell out of here. You want to get the hell out of there. You count the days, or trying to figure out ways to get out of the prison and stuff like that, or praying to the Lord distinctively, to get out of the prison. You want to get the hell out of there, man. So the same way we feel like that in the flesh, and that links up with Romans, I believe, real quick, 7 to verse 34. I want, right? Romans 7 to verse 24. It says, "Oh, wretched man that I am, who shall deliver me from the body of this death?" So Paul, he felt that same way. He felt like he was in prison, man, in spiritual bonds, man. Because imagine if you're in prison and locked up, you want to get out of there, man. Okay, you want to get out of prison. You know what I'm saying? Prison, from what I've heard, is not nice. It's not something that you want to just stay in the rest of your life, man. So, Khan, you got to
go. I'm looking for this other precept, but I might not be able to find it in Zechariah. But it's straight though. Khan, we can keep going unless you have another one.
All right, Khan. I had one more one. I had one. Zechariah 9 and verse 12. It says, "Turn ye to the stronghold, ye prisoners of hope." So the Lord called Israel prisoners of hope, because we hope to get out of this prison. You know what I'm saying? Even in this world, our people in the world, that's why you have certain things like the Black Panther movement, or our people that have the zeal of God but not according to knowledge. They want to get out of this prison, because Jake, I mean, he's in a lot of different prisons. Like, for example, Jake is in literal prison, like the penitentiary, right? County jail. Jake is in literal prison, spiritual prison, which is talking about the flesh, and also prisoner to Satan. That's how many prisons we're in right now. You know what I'm saying? As a people. But it says, "Turn ye to the stronghold, ye prisoners of hope. Even today do I declare that I'll render double unto thee." All right. But yeah, Khan, and that proves in 1 Peter 3:19 that Yahushua only was preaching to Israel. All right. So Khan.
I got to preach it real quick. Isaiah chapter 61 and verse 1. And it reads, "The Spirit of the Lord Yahweh is upon me, because the Lord hath anointed me to preach good tidings." Now, preaching good tidings is the gospel. All right. It reads, "Unto the meek, he hath sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and to the opening of the prison to them that are bound." Bound with what? Bound with infirmities. Why do you think Christ was sent to heal people, man? To open people's eyes, to get off certain demons off of certain people, man, to heal people. That what it means in 1 Peter 3, I believe it was verse 19, if I'm not mistaken, when he was preaching to the prisoners, to those who was bound with demons, to those who had no hope. Because that's a prophecy of him coming on earth to do so. I'm gonna read it again. Isaiah chapter 61 and verse 1. And it reads, "The Spirit of the Lord Yahweh is upon me, because the Lord hath anointed me to preach good tidings," which is the gospel, "unto the meek. He hath sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to them that are bound." And that's playing upon tables. And then the brother froze, man.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but you're still kind of laggy.
Damn.
The saying comes immediately, man. That's off. I'm getting preacher real quick too. Isaiah chapter 42. This book of Isaiah chapter 42 and verse 22. And it reads, "But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none delivereth, for a spoil, and none saith restore." Now, on a physical level, we're put away in prison houses on a literal level. You might go to your local county jail, you're going to see Jake there. You go to prison, you're going to see Jake there. But on a spiritual level, man, we're in this flesh is a prison in this thing. Because we're doing a sentence. We fell from our highest state. Now we're captives to sin. I believe I think the brother already put that in Romans. He put that in Romans 7. And we're captive to sin in this thing. I mean, when you're captive, you're held as a prisoner of war. But you got it, okay? Unless you want to go back.
Con. No, yeah, that's completely right, man. Con. That's not going into, we don't even have to get into it, bro. That's folly. All right. Not going into that. Whatever, Christians say. All right, but Con, yeah, we can go in that.
1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 20, which sometimes were disobedient, when once the long suffering of God waited in the days of Noah, while the ark was in preparing, wherein few, that is 8 souls, were saved by water.
That's right. And it's only 8 souls. You have people saying there's other people that survived the flood that know it. Where precept is that? Literally, you have to go into the book of Enoch, some other damn book like that, right? To say that. The Bible clearly states that only 8 souls survived. That's it. They said the giants. What about the giants? Brother, what are you talking about, man? You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that, man. But it says, while the ark was a preparing, wherein few, that is 8 souls, were saved by water, right? And basically what Peter's saying is he's about to say that there's a certain spiritual thing of that, because we know that, every scripture is then and double to that which is. You know what I'm saying? But like I'm gonna get this quick precept for that real quick. 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 5, and spirit not the old world. So basically Peter's saying the same thing, or talking about the same thing. But save Noah, the 8th person, a preacher of righteousness, bringing in the flood upon the world of the ungodly. So Noah was a preacher of righteousness. You see that? He was a preacher of righteousness. All right. That shows you that he was bringing out the word. I mean, he was bringing out prophecy when he was living. All right. Remember, Noah wasn't just hitting the hammer upon the, shit all day. Hitting the hammer upon the shit and working. That's it. Now, he was also shaking the hair, bro. But nobody believed.
That's fire. 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 21. The life figure whereunto even baptism doth also now save us, not the putting away of the filth of the flesh, but the answer of a good conscience toward God, by the resurrection of Yahushua Mashiach.
Yeah, so just like how Noah was saved by water, right? While the ark was preparing, Peter saying by the like figure there whereunto even baptism doth also now save us. Now he's about to say it's not a literal thing though, right? He's saying not the putting away of the filth of the flesh. So he's already saying it's not talking about you physically washing in the shower, not the putting away the filth of the flesh. You got to get under here, get the soap bar, right? Washing up like that. Just wash your back like that. That's Peter's saying it's not going into that. So brothers that say, or people that say, you have to get physically baptized to get into the kingdom. What precept is that? Because Peter disagrees. He's saying it's not talking about the actual putting away the filth of the flesh, but the answer of a good conscience toward the Most High. What does that mean? Meaning keeping the commandments. Meaning following after the Lord Yahushua. That's what the Lord. That's what he's saying by the resurrection of Yahushua. All right. But it's like I got a quick precept on that. Ephesians chapter 5 verse 26. That he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word. We're talking about the word, all right? We're not talking about actual physical water. Okay? Now, if you get physically baptized, it's not a sin. Because we know that Yahushua got physically baptized. But it's not a requirement for your salvation, as we see no precept saying that. All right? You got it, King. You got precept.
This book of John, chapter 15 and verse 3. Now you are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. So the Lord washes us through his word, man. That's why you have something called the washing of regeneration, man. Like it says in Titus chapter 3 and verse 5. It tells you in Revelation chapter 1 and verse 5, we was washed by his blood. So it's more of a sense on a spiritual level, man. Go ahead if you want to get physically baptized. But I've seen a lot of people get baptized once. They come up. Guess what? They still wicked. They get baptized again. They come up. They still wicked, man. But when you spiritually get baptized, that's a whole different baptism right there. Because John the Baptist, he baptized physically. But the Lord, he was baptizing spiritually, man. Let me get a precept real quick. Let's look at Acts chapter 1, verse 5. And it reads, For John truly baptized with water, but ye shall be baptized with the Holy Ghost not many days hence, man. That's playing upon tables.
That's right. I mean, that's plain, man. His spirit, of course. I got a quick precept. This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 10, verse 22. Let us draw near with a true heart and full assurance of faith, having our hearts sprinkled from an evil conscience and our bodies washed with pure water. Hey, so let's just ask around, right? AHBAYAH, because this man, he lives in the great state of Georgia. Is the water in your state pure? Would you say it's pure water? It's not. Okay, well, I know because I know it rains over there, but hey, the brother said, he wouldn't say it's pure water, Now, ask me the same question for my where the state I reside.
Brother Yasharala, in the good old state of California. Is the water pure over there?
Nah, definitely not. Definitely not. I mean, there's literally chromium-6 in the water. It's a chemical. It says that it's cancer and it's bad for you. So I wouldn't say so. So with that established, we got the East Coast, West Coast, brothers all around in America would say that it's not pure water for real. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you go to now. You might go to like damn Bora Bora someday. Even if you go to Bora Bora, bro, it's not that pure water that the Lord is talking about. All right, because it's hell to the no. So if you live in America, that means you can't get baptized. You can't get baptized in. So that means you can't get saved if you live in America, because the whole damn land is defiled, bro. The water's defiled. Esau messing with the water. You know what I'm saying? He didn't putting chemicals in the water. He throwing chemicals in the lake. He don't give a damn, bro. He does not care, right? Get the water. And we don't even have to get into it. The water has salt in it, bro. It says sodium bicarbonate. You know what that is? That's literally what's that called? Baking soda, bro. Sodium bicarbonate in your water bottle. You know, it's making you thirsty. You're drinking it. It's not, you know what I'm saying? It's water, but it's like gotta keep drinking. You said what?
That's wicked, man.
Yeah, kind of. That's off, bro. I literally had to when I was drinking this water bottle. I drank like 3 water bottles because I wasn't even damn. It didn't even quench my thirst, bro. I see that brother got a water right there. What does it say? It just says water, or
it's Deer Park. I don't think they have it in Deer Park. I don't see it.
Okay, because I know that in Dasani, I think Dasani has it. You know, Dasani has it. It has salt in the water. What do you put salt in the water for? You know, it's supposed to be drinking water. What are you doing? So, and also, I live in California, right? California is in a severe drought, literally severe drought. It has been for a long time. Now it's a severe drought because where we get our water from is Northern Cali, you know, up by Oregon and also the Colorado River. All right, that's where we get our water from. Now they're saying that it's drying up, so there's not a lot of water. So I'm like, and I go to work and stuff like that. I go to the house and you know, what's like, I'm like, where in the hell is this water coming from? Because if it's running out, why is it's coming out abundantly? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, where is the water coming from, bro? I just like questioning. We're in a severe drought, so where's this water coming from? How come there's no accounts of people, you know, and the faucet's not working because you know we're in a severe drought and stuff like that. So I'm like, man, that must mean the water's hella bad, man. You know, stuff like that. So it's like, I don't know, bro. I don't know, but I'm gonna pull this preset. Isaiah chapter 24 and verse 5. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof. So the Lord said that in Isaiah. How much more now? Man? You know, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. So the the earth is defiled. The Lord said He should destroy them that destroy the earth in Revelation 11 chapter, verse 18. So this earth is being destroyed, man. So where are we going to get that pure water from? Definitely not here. It's definitely not your the basement of your pastor. It's definitely not that dirty ass church water, that bathtub water. Definitely not that, man. Or you take somebody to the lake where Esau dumped chemicals on the other side of the lake, man. You taking people to the lake, you baptizing them in that water. Brother, what are you doing, man? Talking about this the pure water right here. Or you buying bottles of Fiji water and you pouring that in the bathtub. You spend about $100. You know what I'm saying? Just on Fiji water. Because you know, in the alkaline. You know what I'm saying? Spend about $100. So you want to get baptized in that pure water, though. You know? It's not going into that. It's talking about that spiritual water. Because that's the only pure water you're gonna get for is that word. What's more pure than the words of the Lord? Right? Bukan. You know, we don't have to get too deep, man.
That's the spirit. Because I'm gonna get this precept that the Lord had me retain in the heart through the spirit. The only water that's pure is the words of life, man. So that's the spirit. I've been mad to you on that too, King. It's like we have all this water and stuff like that. But like the lake's dirty, ocean dirty. Everything's dirty. So how they cleaning it?
Right.
So I'll be driving through this certain place and it stinks. I'm like, why does it always stink every time I drive through this place?
Damn.
They have a water treatment place. So that water, the thing that stinks is that water, man. And they treat that water, and guess what? We're drinking that water, I think, man. So that's nasty. In the time they didn't have a water treatment plant in the time of Abraham. That's off, man. You're drinking toilet water, and you don't even know it. But that's Ezekiel 4 verse 13, though. But this is book of Psalm chapter 12 and verse 6, and it reads, "The words of the Lord," and we know the words of the Lord is that water. It reads, "The words of the Lord are pure words, as silver tried in the furnace of earth, purified 7 times." But that's not pure water. That's not tainted. You go to the Jordan River, it's dirty. That was not the Jordan River our forefathers were singing songs about, man. If you look that thing up, it's nasty. I'm like, this can't be it, man.
Yeah,
this can't be that Jordan River. The Yarden River, man.
Right.
It can't be that river that's in the Garden of Eden. It can't be, man. If that's the case, then, I mean, I'm going to hold my tongue. That's off, man.
What? That's not even it. That's crazy. See that? You know?
Like mud.
Yeah. Literally.
Nah, bro.
I mean, how is that even? Oh, you got it, man.
I'm just saying, like, nah, that's off. What kind you got it?
Yeah. How is this even, you know, a majestic, you know what I'm saying? Like, how is this a river of ancient times? And it was talked about generation to generation for its greatness. Come on now, man. The Lord dried it up, just like how the Lord drying up the Euphrates, man. You know, the Euphrates is a mighty river. You know, when did the Lord say do this, bro? I don't know, bro. I don't know. Where's the precept at? Where's the precept at where the Lord said, go to the Jordan River, baptize yourself there, because Yahweh Shah was baptized there. So you must do that as well.
You getting baptized in the water, it might have dead bodies in that thing, man.
Yeah.
Now you unclean. You're over here trying to be clean by getting baptized. Now you unclean.
Damn, God, that's right. I mean, see that it literally says, "Do not enter the water."
That's off.
That's all. Because it's drying up. It says Jordan River to run dry next year. That's madness, bro. You know, but hey, man, that's crazy. That's crazy, bro. Yeah. The Lord, He's going to restore it, man. The Lord said He's going to make the wilderness like the Garden of Eden. You know, that's a prayer race, man. Restore the waste places, man. Because, hey, you think in the kingdom of heaven we're going to have rivers like that, like the Jordan River going to look like that? But I wouldn't think so. You know, you talking about the kingdom? Nah, I don't think so. I don't think that. Yeah, I'm not too sure about that. You know, because it's like, hold on, let me just get that quick preset so I know where it is. Ezekiel, was that Ezekiel? Was that Ezekiel 20? 20, yo. Right. We'll make it like the Garden of Eden. Right. What is Ezekiel? 20, no. You know, I might just have to look it up. Hold on, real quick, man. All right.
I feel like it's in Ezekiel 34. I'm trying to look.
Oh yeah. All right.
Well, look it up. Don't take my word on that.
It might be though. Hold on. All right, yeah. Okay. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 36. All right, come on. Oh, yeah, come on, praises. This is Ezekiel chapter 36 and verse number 30.
35.
Come on, 35. Not the water. And they shall say, this land that was desolate, it is become like the Garden of Eden. And the waste and desolate and ruined cities are become fenced and are inhabited. You see that? So the stuff that was, the land that was once barren, like how we see right now, is going to be turned into Eden again. You know, you got it.
First Peter chapter 3 and verse 22. Who is going into heaven and is on the right hand of God, angels and authorities and powers being made subject unto him.
That's right, Bahashima Masaki Habashah. And if he's on the right hand of God, that means that he is not the Most High. Just put that in there, man. You know, but all praises to Yahweh Shah, man. At this time, it's been the first Peter chapter 3 breakdown through the Spirit. We're gonna bring our closing precepts real quick, man. You got it, King.
Actually, let's look at 1 John chapter 5, verse 19. So 1 John chapter 5, verse 19. And we know that we are of God, and the whole world lieth in wickedness, man. So we can't be in the world, man. Those times are come to an end. The whole world is given to wickedness, man. As you can see, this world is nothing but wickedness, carnal, fleshly, and lust and concupiscence. If you're in the world, you're not a friend. That means you're an enemy of the Most High God. There's like many other precepts, man. 1 John 2 and 15, 1 John chapter 4 and verse 5. You can't love this world, nor neither the things that are in this world. I think that's it tells you that the fashion of this world passes away. You can't do this world. That's 1 Corinthians 7 and verse 19, if I'm not mistaken, man.
31.
Right. But
Khan. That's right, man. That's right, man. That's a good precept. The whole world lieth in wickedness. I'm gonna get this to close out. It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 38, verse number 21. Seeing all the things that's happening around the world, man. You know what I'm saying? Ezekiel 38 and verse number man, I'm a service. Damn, I don't know, man. I'm just starting verse 19, man, because it's Mike. It says, for in my jealousy and in the fire of my wrath have I spoken. Surely in that day there shall be a great shaking in the land of Israel, so that the fishes of the sea and the fowls of the heaven and the beasts of the field and all the creeping things that creep upon the earth and all the men that are upon the face of the earth shall shake in my presence, and the mountain shall be thrown down, and the steep places shall fall, and every wall shall fall to the ground. And I'll call for a sword against him throughout all my mountains, saith the Lord God. Every man's sword shall be against his brother. So we're living in very evil times, man. Every man's sword is going to be against his brother in that day. All right. That person that you thought that was your friend, your brother, guess what? He's going to be against you in that day, bro. And God forbid that's any one of us. But the Lord prophesied, shall it not be done? You know what I'm saying? Shall the Lord give the commandment and shall it not be executed upon the face of the earth, man? Literally. The Lord said, thy will be done as it is in heaven. It's like thy will be done upon earth as it is in heaven. Right? I'm going to keep going. And I'll plead against him with pestilence and with blood. And I'll rain upon him and upon his bands and upon the many people that are with him, and overflowing rain and great hailstones, fire and brimstone, man. So that's what's coming to America. That's what's coming to Russia. That's what's coming to all the world and the damn earth, bro. The countries. That's what's coming to the heathen. Fire and brimstone to burn them up. Because the Lord said that this earth is life and wickedness. The Lord said this earth is defiled, so therefore he must burn it, man. that it may be replenished. Last precept, verse 23. Thus will I magnify myself and sanctify myself, and I will be known in the eyes of many nations, and they shall know that I am Yahweh. By Hashem Mashab Malaki Abashab, man. So all praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Mahashiach Malaki Abashab. The water for tuning in, for all that have been tuning in through the spirit. Kwame Yasharala, this is your brother Yasharala.
Serving you Yahweh.
Coming back to yet another video through the spirit by Yahweh, by Shema Mashab Malaki Abashab. Hey, death to America, man. Shalom.